So, awesome. Now it's recording. All right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Welcome to GDG Edmonton Ask Me Anything Serious. And thank you for tuning in. My name is Wenfei, and alongside with me again is Xinli. We are the hosts for today's session. And the topic for today's session is career development with us as a volunteer. And today we are very happy to have invited Vaibhav and Hassan as our guests. And Vaibhav and Hassan, I think I will let you two have a quick self-introduction, if you don't mind.
Okay. My name is Vaibhav, and I am a Master's of Science student in University of Alberta. Right now, I am doing my internship in Dip Studio, which is a gaming studio. So I'm a game developer. Apart from that, I work as a volunteer manager in GDG Edmonton, and I really like this side job that I have, which gives me a lot of experience. Apart from that, I have a bachelor's degree in computer science, and computer science has always been my main portfolio. And I think, yes, I'm doing good in that.
Awesome,
All right.
Hassan.
Sorry, I just had to unmute myself. Okay, so hi everyone, and first I would like to thank the GDG Edmonton team for the warm welcome and inviting me to actually be part of this event. So yeah, my name is Hassan Badran. So I'm currently working as a data scientist at ADB Financial here in Edmonton. I guess remotely now. And previously I was working at the University of Alberta as a full stack web developer. And before that, I had just got my Bachelor of Science degree from University of Alberta, and that was in specialization bioinformatics. So it's part of it is computer science, part is biology and genetics. So I guess moving from like kind of that degree to web development, it's kind of weird, but there was a lab at U of A, which is bioinformatics lab, and we had a chance. The professor that taught us bioinformatics told us you could come and develop your skills right after like we graduated. For the team that did that specialization, which was like maybe just 8 of us. Not all of us went, but it was a good opportunity to like start the career kind of. And I didn't do much of the bioinformatics because it was like bioinformatics lab, but we did a lot of curating data and like presenting this data in a presentable way for like scientists, students, researchers to like see it, visualize it on websites basically. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you for the introductions. So we've received some questions from our forum. We sent out to collect questions from our audience. So I will go through the questions first. And if we have more time, I think we can take some questions from our audience, which is Linkai, I guess, so far. So the first question we have right here is, how is being a volunteer at GDG Edmonton can benefit my career development? Can you share some experience you have? So Hassan and Vaibhav, which one of you want to go first?
I could go first. So basically how it could help you with your career development, right? Being a volunteer. So for me, I really wanted at this time. So I know I've been graduated for like, well, I had my first job, which was right after my bachelor's degree, which was like a year and 7 months. And now I've been with ATB for a year and 5 months. So within this time, I've been developing my technical skills, but I am going like all forced to develop my technical skills still. I'm really interested in just developing that, of course, with leadership and so on. And for me, I had this plan where, technical skills, leadership, things like that. And I heard of GDG Edmonton group, and I actually attended a couple of their sessions, which was really fun and really insightful. The first one was on data science, doing machine learning, and the second one was on web development. So basically I knew what I wanted to do, and then I attend these sessions, and I heard a lot from this group, and I read online but what's there for me, like what's available, and it turned out to be like a good fit for what I want to do, right? Like I had a plan for it, and it's turned out to be a good fit. I would say I'm privileged, or as a group here, we are privileged to be able to come up with these initiatives that help each other, right? So yeah, so I didn't hesitate, and I was happy to just request to join the team, and I thought that by joining, it would be really a good opportunity to actually work on these skills. And GDG Edmonton is very dynamic, and they host a lot of different events, and I like this idea, and I felt like being part of it is actually going to force me of building my career in tech, right? And so far it worked out. Like since I started, I was pleased to actually be part of building the website for the GDG Edmonton. Although it didn't require any programming, but it was really fun. I working with other people, and although it was remotely, I felt like we did it really quickly. And I learned Webflow, which is actually pretty cool web development, pretty cool web development tool, right? And I didn't know it before. I learned it quickly, and because I had like web development background a bit, so I knew like kind of where to go. But it was really fun, and I learned new things, right? So that kind of contributed to my like skills, right? And I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward for the next events, and I'm happy that like the team here considers me for like hosting other events, and I'm willing to in the future, hopefully, when I put things together from now till the time comes for a session for NLP or a few sessions later. And yeah, and then I'm really interested in this, and this is kind of what we work on in my data science team. And yeah, and I'm interested because I want to work on these sessions so I could actually develop my skills, and kind of because I want to deliver, and you want to deliver quality, and right, and that's gonna help me for sure in that. So yeah, there's a lot of ways so far for me, and I'm really thankful for the team for the opportunity. Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, thank you, Hassan, for joining us and being a awesome volunteer. So for our audience, if you haven't got a chance to check our website, I would recommend you to go and take a look. I mean, kudos to our website designing team, including Hassan and Xinli. They're doing, they did an amazing job for creating the website. Awesome website in only 1 week, roughly 1 week. So that was fantastic. That was very impressive.
And also, sorry, I forgot his name.
Monia.
Yeah, Munir. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Vibhav, I will let you share some of your experience.
Okay, so I thank you so much, Hassan, for sharing your experience as a volunteer manager. I feel confident about it. But I would like to talk about this question not as a manager, but as a volunteer, because I have a very vast experience of working with Google developer groups across the globe, I would like to say right now, and even as a Google student ambassador. So I would like to share my journey and the career development approaches and the benefits what I received out of being a volunteer in GDG in my professional career. So, the first thing that I would like to say is working as a volunteer in GDG provides you with a very, provides you an opportunity that you can confidently show off on your CV. But that's just the glitter part. When you talk about as a student, as a professional, volunteering with GDG provides you with a very raw experience of the skill set that you are, talented in, and that's the best place to hone your skill set so that you can, further go on it. So just taking my experience, I got into as a GSA when I was in my, in my school as a bachelor. And during my term as a GSA, I was inducted in Google as an intern. We went to, a seminar and we were trained on how to, perform delegates and perform events, organize events, and, how to go on with hackathons, how to actually get into the workflow and of the processes that we have inside the Google. which in turn, brought me a lot of experience. And as soon as I was, just performing my duties as a GSA, I already had two offers in my hand. But at that time, I was still in school and I was not eligible to work, so I could not. So what happened was I joined GDG at that time, the local chapter of GDG that was available in my city. And I organized a couple of hackathons. I did participate in hackathons, and we managed to release 12 apps that were ready to launch on App Store. The only mentioning of the fact that we have made 12 apps brought me a lot of opportunities from the Indian government, because I was working on the GDG Indian chapter, and I was invited to make an app for the government on missing children, the children that gets kidnapped. Though again, that wasn't paid opportunity, but I was in school and I was not eligible for that. But surely we did manage to make that app, for which another government agency, gave me a freelance work to develop an app of, another social issue that we were facing back in my town. So, just by, keeping up my enthusiasm with GDG, I was able to fetch a lot of opportunities which were under the blanket earlier, which I could not have even known. But yes, in the end, it ended up landing in my plate. So I would like to say, yes, just working with GDG provides you with a lot of raw experience that you can explicitly show off to the professional world, which will definitely get you a good opportunity, or which definitely lead to your career development path.
Thank you for the experience sharing, Vaibhav. I think you are absolutely right. I can very well resonate with what you just said, because I mean, I've been volunteering in some different organizations in the past years, and I think one of the main benefit people can get as a volunteer is the opportunity to meet and know and also interact with professionals, right? And then you will be get opportunity to understand what industry looks like, and also what the job looks like in that position through the interactions, and that will help you identify which company or which career path you would like to choose, right? So that's really helpful. And Xinli, do you have anything to add?
Sure. I really like to recognize one of Webhav's points about how he first started with GDG India and now joined GDG in Edmonton. So we have our natural advantage be part of the GDG community globally. Even though you moved to a city to see from Edmonton to Vancouver, you will find GDG Vancouver, and you can be quickly find similar like same organization, but to meet new friends and to join the different like the new get you started to in a new place. So I think that is really cool, and not a lot of organizations offer that. And also, one advantages of volunteer with GDG Edmonton is I think our team is awesome. We have a lot of really awesome volunteers, the leadership teams, and personally, I really enjoyed working with every one of them. And so it's really good for professional development in terms of how you position yourself and collaborate in a team setting, because we operate like a company, and we have pretty clear way of how you progress from a volunteer to a leadership team and to co-organizer and to co-founder. So that's give you some sense of being in a private company, how you're going to progress your career. Because my background is in federal government, so it's a little bit different private company. And I think that's benefited me a lot, provide me a lot of different thinking in terms of how I interact with my with my supervisor. So that's just some of my experience, and to add on top of Webhav's point. And also kudos to Hassan's work in terms of web development, and also kudos to Webhav for the volunteer management work so far. I think you guys are doing great.
Thank you, Xinli, for your sharing. Okay, so I guess we can go to the next question. So the second question is that how to build and maintain a relationship with professionals as a volunteer. So basically, as a volunteer, you get the opportunity to meet professionals, but how to build a relationship with them and also maintain the relationship.
Sure. I'm gonna go first.
Sure.
I think, like in my opinion, it's in general, always too good to volunteer. I remember volunteering before like this in different areas, and it's always good because you always get to connect with people. That's like first thing. You never volunteer, you don't connect with people unless if you just never show up to anything, right? But yeah, so like the thing is about volunteering is I don't think anything could go wrong. Like there is no big expectation as like in your, like in a job, like okay, you have tasks or things like you have to accomplish, right? And in volunteering, I feel like it's more like taking initiatives, and if you like try taking initiatives, it's basically like what you're capable of doing, right? So you'll be able to accomplish what you're doing because you come up with ideas maybe, or there is a discussion in the team, and you say, oh, we could do this, we could do that, right? And then you bring things to the table. It's like, and that's how I would say, like there is no expectation, like, or set expectation, I would say. Like, so it's not like so it's not scary, So this is like, there is no strain in it. So think of it as like, not a job, right? Something that you love to do, right? So, and with that, of course, you're gonna be building relationships in in the community you're in volunteering, and I think, of course, like especially if you commit to like the initiative you're taking and you're there, like, and you're volunteering, which is the main reason why you've actually joined the team, it's gonna be a great benefit. Like I feel from volunteering, you're getting more than actually what you put in my opinion, and it's from my experience in volunteering all the time. It's always like helped me a lot actually. So yeah, so like I'm gonna go back on saying like there's nothing that could go wrong because like like we're all professionals and we're all adults, so we all I know it's at different times right now, but it's actually, I feel, even easier, especially like in joining the GDG Edmonton. We could do because based on what we do, we could do everything remotely, and you could really build a lot of relationships and with really a lot of professional people. And I think there's a lot of professional people like that involved in GDG Edmonton. I haven't get a chance to actually meet or talk to all the team at GDG Edmonton, but I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, so don't be scared. Like, I mean, yeah, it's just really fun environment so far for me, at least, I would say. And yeah, it just comes. Right? So yeah, thanks.
Awesome, Hassan. So what do you have to share?
Right. I totally agree with Hassan. One is, the point that where nothing can go wrong as a volunteer is extremely, fascinating for the volunteers. Furthermore, I'd like to build a relationship with a professional as a volunteer. First of all, talk more. Like, if you're in an event where there is a designated speaker who's coming up and giving XYZ value of worth of information. So don't hesitate on any doubts that you have. Don't hesitate on even the stupidest of doubts that you have. Just go and ask, and interact with the leaders. So once you are in conversation with the people and professional out in the world or in GDG, make sure that your interaction with them does add some value to you or to the professional that you are talking. Mostly it will add a value to you, but be considerate about yourself and interact with people. The third thing that I would like to say is, as Hassan mentioned, don't be afraid to bring in your ideas on the table, because a conversation, a specific person who's working in 10 different areas might be forgetful of your name, if you just have a normal conversation. But presenting an idea always embarks, a mark in the person's mind that yes, I heard this idea in a Google event from such and such person, and that's how, that's the perfect example to keep your name in resonance in the other person's mind. This is how to build a relationship with a professional. When we talk about maintaining a relationship, that's a little more difficult, because initiating into a conversation is much easier than keeping up with that momentum throughout. So always try to be professional, and respect the professional space that the other volunteer or the other delegate that is on this team brings in with him. So and the last point that I like to add is, if you are in a conversation and you make a healthy conversation with a delegate, and you discuss about on a topic or an idea, make sure you go back and read about it, or think about it, brainstorm about it, and make sure you revert to the leader that you were talking about, or the professional you were talking about. That's the best way to get into the conversation and keep on having it and maintaining that relationship. So yeah, that's what several points that I wrote down on how to build and maintain a professional relationship as a volunteer.
Thank you, Vaibhav. I think you guys covered many good points. I just want to share a very fun story. I experienced, not myself, but that's what I saw. So this is this story is related to the point you guys just made. Be professional and thoughtful. I think that's very important. So in this story, this student, as a volunteer, he got an opportunity to meet a professional. And then the second day after the student met the professional, he was asking the professional to be the reference at the job at the company where the professional was working. So that is no, right? Because it's unprofessional, and also it's a relationship you are building. You're not asking people right away for a favor, right? And that is not relationship at all. So I just want to share this fun story to let everybody know that. To let our audience know that building a relationship is very important, and be mindful and be considerate and be professional. Xinli, do we have any fun story to share?
I think I'm good.
Okay, no problem. Sounds good. And we can go to the next question. So the next question we have right here is, I guess it's more to us. Is what do you expect if I join as a volunteer, and how can I join as a volunteer? So Vaibhav, I think you are the person to answer this question.
So I'd like to take on this question as volunteer manager of GDG Edmonton right now. So when I talk to volunteers right now, the only two things that I'm looking for is, one is ownership, and the other one is if the person is interested in maintaining an active communication between the team and being as a volunteer. We do certainly care about the skill set that you bring and the value that you bring on the table, but that's not a primary concern, because we do understand that as a volunteer, you're coming to us in order to increase your skill set, and that's what we are here for. To help you and help us grow in a mutually beneficial way. So we do care about the skill set, but that comes on a later priority. The first thing that we are actively looking for is if the person is capable of taking ownership of what ideas he's bringing on the table, and second, if on being asked upon, he is actively communicating to the team so that the team's momentum and morale is high.
Fantastic. I think that's a very good summary for the expectation we have for volunteers, and also what kind of skill sets we are looking for. Okay, so Vaibhav, I think you didn't mention how people can join us as a volunteer. Can you talk about that quickly?
I thought that was the next question. So yeah, so joining as a volunteer is quite easy. You just need to contact either me or Wenfei or Zoe, or for the matter of fact, any volunteer who's working with GDG. You can just simply go to them and ask them that I'm interested in being a volunteer. And they'll. I am damn sure that all the volunteers will make arrangements for the team to come in and collaborate for that volunteer. I wrote another point. Just a sec. Yeah. So one more point that I wrote was just asking for the volunteership role is good and we are okay with it. But what if the volunteer is enthusiastic enough to bring some ideas before asking or before communicating that he wants to join in as a volunteer? That is a great boon, and just takes you a two to three steps forward in that process, because you're already presenting your worth right in front of the leaders. So I think that's another great idea, point on, if you want to get onto the team as a volunteer. Even if you don't have ideas, do come to us, let us know. We'll definitely get back to you. But plus point is to bring in an idea or some feedback on some activity or event that you just attended, and maybe you can take that as a starting point and dwell your conversation out of there.
Fantastic. And just a quick add on what I have just said. We also have a form. So if you're interested, just fill the form, and then you will be officially get into our system. And then we can see, from the form, you will be putting some information about yourself and what kind of skill sets do you have, and what kind of volunteering functionality you're looking for in the organization. So we can figure out which part would be the good place to have your volunteering time and effort. Okay, so I think we covered all the questions here. So I think we can quickly take one more question. So Linka, do you have any question for us?
I have one question,
Sure.
what kind of specific skill set you guys are looking for, or are you guys looking for very general? For example, I don't know, I understand there's a data Google develop group. So do you just look for someone who do the development, or you also want someone who use some other software to do data analysis or modeling? What's the specific you're looking for?
Actually, we are. Sorry, Xin, you can go ahead.
Sorry, just because I have something in mind. That's a really good question. So we are looking for different types of volunteers. Last time I think I just discussed with Web. I have about those. So we are looking for volunteers who with a technical background, either in DevOps, data science, machine learning, cloud computing engines. And we have a lot of opportunities provided to those type of volunteers who want to leveraging on their technical skills and meet more people with similar interests. For example, we're right now organizing those long-term workshops, and our volunteer who with extensive knowledge in some topics are considered to be as our tutor for those workshops. And also we're looking for volunteers with marketing experience or with event management, writing, and volunteers who are looking for those soft skills, because we do have a lot of events and networking opportunities that can provide to the volunteers who wants to increase their ability or have some experience to practicing their soft skills. So I think we're pretty inclusive, and we are also not we are not only working on Google products. Our primary events are with Google products to promote and provide experience to our members. But we also have workshops on Amazon products, or work with Microsoft. So we're not limited ourselves to only Google products.
Okay. Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. So in short, we have positions for technical volunteers, and also positions for volunteers who are looking for coordination, functionalities, kind of experience. So we have both. And Inka, did we answer your question?
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
Just one little thing that I'd like to. Yeah, so I totally agree with Xinli that we are looking for volunteers with technical background. Also, I'd just like to add that even if the volunteer is enthusiastic towards coming into the technical field, we welcome him with open arms.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. All right. I guess we are having a good time today here because today we are having about half an hour for the series, but before it was only 15 minutes, 1 5. So I guess we are having very fun here. And thank you very much again for our audience, and also thank you very much for our guests, Vibhab and Hassan, for your participation. And I guess I will see you guys next week. Thank you very much again. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.